Do you remember when we first met? Well, I don't, but I remember how wet you get. But I won't disrespect you by dwelling on the physical aspect. Don't roll your eyes, cause we better than that shit. I'm talking about long life, being your boy's wife. A couple youngins running in the backyard. And my lord, you're still looking great, honey. And my God, you still can shake what make money. It's so vivid, can you picture it? Yeah, well tell me, do you think this ring fits? Word, your love is like the ultimate herb. You got me foot to the ass and the rest of the curb. It's like nothing to do, only for you I kneel and forget the brick. Love is the house we're building, the picket fence with the swing on the tree, with the words carved in it saying love is we.
There you are, close enough to touch but still too far, because you're not mine yet. Stimulated by the conversation, mere presence. Other women ask what relation, none of the essence. Oh, who's that? She's a C, but you come first, like the A before the B. When you're gone, I wilt like a willow. Lie there and smell the scent you left on my pillow. A strong mind with the body to match. I won't bite if you promise not to scratch. You keep it real, just like the truth. Closer than twins, standing in the phone booth. Inspirational, treasured like a gift. What's success without someone to share it with? I used to be a dog, now a cool cat chasing cheese. And I blame Eloise. Eloise on my mind. Eloise on my mind. Eloise. Eloise on my mind. Eloise on my mind. Eloise. Eloise on my mind. Eloise on my mind. Eloise on my mind. Eloise. Eloise on my mind. Eloise.
People everywhere wants to know her name. Her body is the essence and her claim to fame. She's got game, it ain't the same. She's got plenty, packing more good times that you might call a penny. Cause you caught up with the thoughts of flying overseas, making all of the cheese, spending time with Eloise. I picture hitting from the back like the snare from the track. I got the knack to be the Mac, the lips I wanna smack. Candle wax down the spine, all of the time. Prophylactic on my tool, let me take you to school. Lesson 1, you don't have to run. And lesson 2, listen to my crew. Passion increases with exchange of saliva. Keep it Fahrenheit and call me Muff Diver. That be me, the K to the ING. My mode is excellent and my dream is Eloise.
A soft whisper. She asked me, do I have the guts to kiss her? But as I sit and wonder, is she real? I picture. So what comes after? Put on Anita's rapture. Her feelings I must capture. Her soft lips. I take them quick and put them in my pocket. Cause they're out of this world like Space Lee and his sprockets. Somebody pitch me quick, I think I'm dreaming. Damn, she got me fiending. Her skin is so soft. It reminds me of the smoothest piece of silk. She's so sweet, her breath smells like carnation milk.
So sweet. Carnation milk. Of all things, I'm your lady. Sweet baby. Hey, what up, boo? Words out, I'm the diva that you speak about. I hear you smitten about my well-written repertoire. You's a superstar, but it's you that I shine for. We go together like jeans, t-shirts, and sneakers. Player haters try to come between us, but never that. E is simply all of that. Rewind that. E is simply all of that. Hoes be jealous, so they fellas wanna frolic. Gems I spit can't be bought, sold or boarded. You look retarded, trying to go against the gift. Love is shared, the love is multiplied. Put your freaks aside, forget about your weak pride. Run away with me and let's do it on the wild side. Like that.
Eloise on my mind. Eloise on my mind. Eloise, you're on my mind. Eloise on my mind. Eloise on my mind. Eloise. Eloise. Eloisa, I wanna know, am I the bro to get to know ya? Eloise on my mind. Eloise on my mind. Eloise. Eloise on my mind. Eloise. Eloise, I wanna know, am I the bro to get to know ya? Eloise. Eloise on my mind. Eloise. Eloise. Simply E with the MSB, the magical soul.
Eloise on my mind. What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? Yeah, another week in the building. What's up, everybody? It's PV versus everybody. I'm going to say that right. It's PV versus everybody. And I'm your host, Sed Brass. I'm in the building. Productive people. We're here Wednesdays. Every Wednesdays. We back in the business. I know I took a couple weeks off. Gave y'all a little break. Took a little break myself. A little kickback. A little time to unwind. Get my notes together, get my life together, get this PV business together. We're in the building. I'm happy to see everybody. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to come in the name of PV fandom. PV12 is in the building. What's up, man? As soon as I said, everybody's hitting it up in the chat. PV12 is in the building. We coming with a force and we coming with a vengeance. And it's like no other. You know what I'm saying? It's none like any other than the PV12, and I think we're establishing ourselves in these PV streets and these swag streets. More importantly, it's been busy out here. It's been quiet, but yet it's been busy. Anytime we step our head out, it's been chaos. I don't know what it is. You know, I put a little PSA out there earlier just to let everybody know today we're back in business. We're doing a show. I went on a normal threads and put the link out there for everybody. And man, we just put our heads out there and then everybody just pounces. You know, I don't know why everybody hates PV. I know that was one of the shows when I did a play on Everybody Hates Chris, but it often feels like that with PV. We can't just put our announcements out there and say we're getting ready to do our weekly show just like anybody else in these swag streets. And it's nothing but hate. It's nothing but hate. But, you know, that's what it's like being a PV fan out here. We gonna stand up, we gonna stand out, and we gonna stand proud. That's what we do here at PV. We gonna give you the business and we gonna give you that work a lot. And we're gonna talk about this a little bit later. Before I go deep into my talking points, of course, like always, we're gonna get our announcements. We're gonna get the business together. You know, and it's our 150th anniversary celebrating Prairie View A&M University. I think that needs to be stated. You know, we talk about football, we talk about sports. Let the folks know, 1876, we out here. This is our birthday year, 150th anniversary. There are all kind of activities coming along. I've been talking about them weekly on the show. Always coming out with fresh links with people that are doing their thing. It's another brother out here doing his thing. I wish I had a horizontal so it could fit right into the actual show link. Dear Prairie View. There's an homage to Prairie View. Let me pull that up for y'all. Hopefully I'm not rusty with the links taking 2 weeks off. I should still be able to do the business. Here we go. Put this up for y'all. Let me know if y'all don't hear the sound, but you should be able to hear it. All right, we go here.
They came from cities, towns, and wards, crossing streets, avenues, and Rubicons, by car, planes, trains, and caravans, from countrysides to trail rides, all strangers to a shining light on a hill, from emancipation to civil declaration, and now anticipation. 150 years later, so much has changed, and yet so much is the same. To toast the past, we must see a future, all of us, in memories of purple and shimmers of gold. Dear Prairie View.
Shout out Dear Prairie View. I can't wait to see the long form of that. I can't wait to see the long form of it. I know it's going to be good things to come, especially with so many creative outlets out there for PV. I can't wait to see it. I think there's going to be an actual dance ensemble. There's going to be an installation at Martha's Vineyard launching the PV birthday. There'll be a documentary in the Martha's Vineyard Film Festival that will film and showcase the historical presence of Prairie View A&M University. Also, there'll be an art installation with photography and photos and art across the years at Prairie View. So Look forward, everybody, to more news, more notes, and more updates on celebrating Prairie View's 150th anniversary. I'm excited. I hope you're excited. A lot of the chapters out there are doing a lot of things. Of course, Dallas chapter is doing their thing. Hold on, let me pull out the link out there for them. Present. Let's see. Let's remove that. Let's go over here. Stage. All right. There we go. Dallas chapter. Obviously, the PVAMU Dallas chapter 29th annual scholarship and silent auction happening Friday, September 25th. Mark your calendars. September 25th at the Hilton Anatole as we celebrate once again Prairie View 150th anniversary. We also honor the legacy members who's dedicated and helped make the university a beacon of excellence for generations to come. Get your tickets today on Dallas PV Alumni Facebook page for an evening of celebration, fellowship, and support for future Panthers. Y'all check it out. Let me blow it up for y'all before I remove it. Y'all check it out. PV 29th Annual Scholarship Gala and Silent Auction. If you know about PV and you know about Dallas, this is always an event to attend. It's one of the nicest galas out there. I'll be there. Hopefully you'll be there. Let's see. What else we got? We're going to get to the news. We're going to run through these news clips real quick. Also, what else we got out there? We got more chapter updates. We're going to get to the business. Atlanta chapter meet and greet y'all July 13th. That's from 6 to 8:30. Go check out the Atlanta chapter. Anybody's near the Atlanta area, there's going to be a meet and greet. They're going to be meeting with the athletic director. AD Golf will be in the building. Our head coach, Coach T. Jack, Tremaine Jackson, will be in the building. The general manager of the team, Dr. Chris Williams, will be in the building. It's gonna be an event to attend. With those three, that's the big three. Everything but President LeGrand will be in the building. That's gonna be a force to reckon with. If you're anywhere near the Atlanta area, July 13th, mark your calendars. Take a screenshot. It's going down. July 13th. What's up? PV in the building, man. Give me a little shout out, man. Always PV in the building. That chant never gets old. What else we got? We had the PV picnic for the Chicago chapter that was out there. We had a lot of good people. We actually had a cool little roll call. Let me see if I can pull that up too. Stop sharing. Let me see. Let's pull that up. Boom, boom, boom. Let's get them out the way. Hold on. Oh yeah, shout out to Phyllis too, by the way. Saw her in the video. Just add that in here. What's up, everybody? PV in the building. What's up, Mr. Campbell? I see you. we gonna get to y'all. We got to get the business clear. We got to get a little housekeeping clear. Little housekeeping. Hold on. We gonna get y'all. We gonna get y'all in a second. Hold on. All right, hold on. We in the building, y'all. Section 107, Isaiah, what's up, baby? What's up? State Fair Classic, y'all. September 26th. I just told y'all about the Dallas chapter. State Fair Classic, that's going to be September 26th. The tradition and the rivalry. I got a little video for that as well. Hold on, where's that at? Let's see, where's that at? Okay, here we go.
Legacies, one tradition when Grambling State.
Hold on. Got too many links on the stage at once. Hold on, here we go.
Meet at the Cotton. Two legacies, one tradition when Grambling State and Prairie View A&M meet at the Cotton Bowl. It's more than a game.
That's right. Tickets on sale now. That's right. Tickets on sale now. Cotton Bowl Classic. Y'all already know what time it is. Cotton Bowl, they're already early starting the tickets. Tickets are literally on sale now. I saw them online. Y'all go get y'all tickets. That's going to be a show to remember. I know normally that's the biggest event in PV, but we got a lot of big games this year. So I'm glad the State Fair Classic is getting their messaging and getting their media out there out the way first, because we got so many action-packed games across the entire SWAC, to be honest with you. You know, me not being biased to Prairie View, obviously I know PV is going to be heavily watched across the entire season, but the entire SWAC, just to take a step back a little bit, the entire SWAC is going to be lit. I think you're going to see a lot of good TV. You're going to see a lot of good action. I know we've done shows in the past, how we're going to be aired on HBCU Go. We're going to be aired on SWAC TV. Obviously, we're going to be aired on ESPN on their various platforms and channels. So it's going to be a lot going on. I know we've been going back and forth about what's going to be more prominent and what's more viable. And it's been a lot of SWAC chatter and conversation about that. And we've had it even here on here. But regardless of what platform you choose to watch these games on, it's going to be action packed. I personally can't wait to SWAC Media Day. I'll be there. I'll be there. As the kids say, pull up. I'm going to be outside, touch grass. I'm going to be in the building. SWAC Media Day. I got something special planned. I got a lot of stuff special planned for SWAC Media Day. Lionel will be there in the building. PV12 is going to be in the building. More importantly, PV versus everybody is going to be in the building. I don't do enough PSAs on this building. Everybody like, subscribe, youtube.com, PV versus everybody. Like, subscribe, get the alert. There's more content than this show. Lionel does his podcast and does his show. He does some very detailed breakdown. I don't even get into that on this because this is a fan page. But he breaks down players across the league, returning quarterbacks, returning running backs, what to expect from different offenses and defenses on the team. He brings his coaches on the show. He does all of the analytics, and he even has actually some good content planned in the store for you. So I would like, subscribe, get the alert. Even some of his paid platform stuff. You can get a lot of the sneak peek stuff of what's going on internally. Not too much, just a little bit of sneak taste of stuff that's going on in the PV world. It's behind a paywall. Definitely want to subscribe. If you're a serious fan and you want to really get some of the intrinsic notes and details on what's going on in the PV world, y'all check out Lionel, PV versus everybody. We in the building. PV is a force to reckon with. I keep telling y'all that. PV is a force to reckon with. And a lot of people not ready. But they better get ready. I'm just saying, y'all better get ready, because a lot of people aren't used to PV being this vocal. And that agitates a lot of people. And that's going to be a common theme amongst a lot of these conversations that we have. And that's just something we're going to have to acclimate people to. That's not really necessarily their fault, but we're going to help them work through that anxiety that they have. Because I know a lot of times for a lot of us old heads, it's a difficult task for us to kind of come into the new millennium. It's kind of, it's hard for us to make that pivot into the digital space. It's hard for us to pivot to the new arrival of HBCU. It's hard to see PV do well. We've always got our accolades for what we do academically. But now that we're in the sports arena, it's tough for a lot of people. And so we will be that therapy for you. We'll help you get through these traumatizing times that a lot of you are seeming to be struggling with. We'll help you through that. Speaking of which, you can call in. Let me put the link in there for you. We can help you get through that trauma. We can help you get through some of this medical attention that you can need. We have a lot of licensed people and a lot of licensed professionals here at Prairie View that can help you out. I just put the link in the chat for y'all. Let's see what else we got for y'all. Let's check out let's get some more housekeeping, and we'll get right into a lot of our shows. Darius Malone, what's up, brother? Hold on, let me get in here. Share screen. Let's go. All right. Window. Where we at? Hold on. Where we at, y'all? Oh, Chrome tab. Okay. Let's check out the facilities. Here we go. updates to the gym. I'm sorry, the weight room. We got all brand new equipment. I won't name some of the people that's been out there putting out what's going on in that complex. We're not that petty. Just wanted to give everybody a brief update. A few videos ago, I put up how it was cleared out to make way for a lot of the new upgrades we had into our weight room facility. We got the AstroTurf back there. That's all new in the back. Obviously, the branded weights you see out there. Look, we gonna upgrade. It's just not the team. It's not just the staff, but it's also the equipment and it's also the facilities. You know, we often talk about it in a very tongue-in-cheek way, but we don't really show it as much. So I just want to show that quick update. We ain't gonna give y'all too much. We ain't gonna give y'all too much. Just a little bit. Hold on, let me get it back. Let me get it back over here. Boom. Just a little bit. Let me remove that too as well. Oh, y'all couldn't see it? My bad. Let me add it back in there again. My bad. Can y'all see that? Let me know if y'all can see that. Hold on. Let me add that back in there again. Sorry. Thanks, Isaiah, for that. I'll bring that back for y'all. Bring that back. Let me know if y'all can't see that. Oh, the video not showing? Okay, G-Boom. Must not be meant to be. It's all good. Let me stop it. Stop sharing. All right. Let me get back to it. All right. Boom. What else we got? We got some more home rules. I want to get into the home rules because it's been also a lot of child. Look, before we get to the home rooms, let's get into some other business. We got the bus ride. You guys take a screenshot of that. Text me, get the link. We've already got the information on traveling for the away games. We already got the plan together. PV fans, take a screenshot. We got all the information for the team. Now, it's all good, G-Boom. Get the information. We ready to go. Get the QR code. Also, we've already come out with what colors for each game. Y'all take a screenshot of that. We got the image. Again, if you want this, we can email it to you. We got the screenshot. Tarleton, gold. Everybody wear your gold for the Tarleton. Baylor, purple. State Fair Classic, purple and gold. Valley, gold. This is just the away colors, y'all. East Texas A&M, that's a white game. UAPB, that's purple. And then, of course, we wearing the black for the Alabama State game. It's a blackout game. We already got the PV12s, got everything for you. We even got the actual, we got some this t-shirt that you see, Pollo, this animated. We even got these shirts for y'all as well. So PV12 is, we got it all worked out for you. We got the travel plans. We got the buses. We already got the hotels. We got the color scheme. I'm not going to go deep into that, but we got a full extensive plan on what's going on for next season already. Y'all stay tuned in. We just going to sample a little bit of it here and there because we got a lot of issues to address, but I want to make sure we get some of this stuff out the way. I do want to play the clip, though. I want to play the clip of home rules because Pollo did a very good job of that. And y'all let me know if y'all can't see this either. Hold on. We're going to share that. And then we're going to get into some of these topics. Hold on. Let me do that. Because I think a lot of this is important. Why have you engaged? We're going to do that. Okay, who? All right, here we go.
What's up, man? This is Elvin Price, man, class of 06, architecture major, man. I just want to let y'all know a few rules when you come to the Prairie A&M University games. And rule number 1, all right, coin toss. We chant PVU. Who you root for? PVU. Who you root for? Rule number 2, on third downs when we on defense, All right, we defense, clap, clap, defense, clap, clap, defense, clap, clap. Rule number 3. All right, we on offense, man. When he says that's another PV, congratulations. First down, we point toward the direction of the first down. Rule number 4. When we get that dog, all right, in the Panthers den, we pointing to the hill with the storm, baby. All right, singing the alma mater. All right, so that's rule 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's all you got to remember. Come out, baby. PV12 representing. PV Nation, what's up, man? This is Elvin Price.
That's what's up, man. He gave y'all the 4 rules. We got more rules too, but we just want to keep it real simple for y'all. Hold on, we're gonna keep it simple for y'all. Hold on, it's still playing in my ear. Hey, close that out of my ear. What's up, man? Man, that's the perfect segue, man. That's the perfect segue. We got a lot of good things going on. Let's talk about the SWAC real quick. There's some new SWAC basketball tournament formats I think that a lot of people don't know about. And a lot of y'all are not going to be aware of until the actual basketball season comes up. Shout out to the new SWAC. And I think this is interesting. I want to say they made this because a lot of the first ranked teams have been getting knocked out of the basketball tournament. So I actually think this is pretty cool. Under this new revised format, the top 2 seeds in each tournament bracket will receive buys directly into the semifinals round. And then the 3rd and 4th will advance directly into the quarterfinals, while the 5th and 6th seeds will get buys into the second round. That's pretty good. Let me see if I can make this bigger. Boom. There you go. So if you notice, you see 3 and 5 play, and then 10 and 8 play in each bracket. You see the first round in the game 7 for the first and the second seed, they advance on to game 7. You see the 4th and the 3rd, they play in game 5 and 6. And then 3 and 4, you see actually the 5th rank and the 6th rank. So actually, I think that's pretty cool. So in game 1 and 2, it's just 8 and 9 plays 10 and 7. So it's an actual advantage to being the number 1 and the 2 seed because you already advanced to the semifinals. So you, as a 1 and 2 seed, all you have to do is win one game to make it into the SWAC championship. I know a lot of people not going to like that, but that's somewhat of an advantage or an incentive to being a first or second round team. I actually think that's pretty cool. What y'all think about that? Hold on, let me put myself back up there. What y'all think about that? I think that's pretty cool. You probably wouldn't have seen Bethune-Cookman get blown out in the first round. You probably would have seen a different landscape in the SWAC championship. So now they're incentivizing teams that do, and they probably should repeat this also for women's softball. That would be something as well. And we've talked about a lot of this on the show when we've had coaches on the show talk about how the first round team gets knocked out, and it's almost like you're penalized for being a first round team because of a lot of complexities that take place. Now, it's not super crazy. I think that actually helps the teams that are first. It might be somewhat a stretch to make them go all the way to the semifinals. That's a stretch. Maybe quarterfinals. Make them win 2 games. But the fact that if you're a first round or a first ranked team or a second ranked team, all you have to do is win 1 game to go to the SWAC championship. That is kind of wild. I have to admit. But that's going to make for an interesting regular season. That's going to make a real interesting season. Still won't work, unfortunately. I know. Yeah, them tiebreaker rules are going to affect seconds and yeah, it is. It is. The tiebreakers is really going to be interesting as we go into next season. PV winning as an 8 seed pisses off the voters. I think so. I think that is true, but I don't always like to want to play the victim role, but I'm glad you said it and I didn't say it. It's interesting how fast and swift rules happen when PV kind of excels to the top. Something got to happen, right? There's something that's got to happen to slow PV down because we can't take PV winning in football and basketball. Pretty much the 2 perennial favorite sports that most people support. You got PV winning the 2025 SWAC championship in basketball and football. Something got to be done. We got to slow them down because PV is doing some different things when it comes to coaching, when it comes to attracting talent, when it comes to maneuvering amongst the conference. This is infringing upon the so-called blue bloods, right? The so-called blue bloods. But the fact that PV isn't a blue blood, that we've had that conversation and debate also. How is PV not a blue blood when we actually started the SWAC? None of the schools that you actually mentioned as perennial favorites or blue blood didn't even start the SWAC conference. And I know people don't think that that's deserving of us being called a blue blood because we started an original last founding school of the SWAC, by the way. But somehow everybody else is a blue blood. And I talked about this earlier, right? And this is how you know PV really gets under the skins of most folks. Because once we come out and once we start speaking, everybody goes wild. Once we start achieving, rules got to change. And now something has to be done. Something got to be done to stop these PV folks. Because they doing too much. And I hate to tell y'all, secretly, it's only going to get worse. Because the gap is widening. I'm gonna be honest with you. When you start talking about coaching staff, athletic departments, funding, facility, campus, environment, city, the market, it is expanding. It's not getting any better. And I think that's what a lot of the schools are struggling with because they see it. They can see the forest from the trees, right? They can see it. These small little mid-market little towns, they aren't as viable as they used to be in the 80s and 90s. More people are moving away. More people in our big cities and markets. Now we're seeing an evolving conference. We're seeing the actual identity of students change and what resonate with them, the type of coaches that they resonate with. And we're gonna get into the coaches too, by the way, because I was kind of upset. I was kind of upset at what I'm seeing out here from the coaches. The fans is one thing, but the coaches, that's a whole nother. And let's get right into it. Let's get right into it. Because guess what?
We're never going to shy away from being confrontational.
That's right.
About what great college football looks like.
That's our motto. I know we got a lot of acronyms out there, finish the fight, but we're never going to shy away about what great college football looks like. And that's truly what embodies who and what we are. Say it one more time for him, Coach.
We're never going to shy away from being confrontational.
That's right.
About what great college football looks like.
That's it in a nutshell. If you're wondering about who we are and what we are and why we move the way we move, that's it. That's it right there in a nutshell. And that takes me to who is Coach, what is he speaking for, and what's his recruiting style? I'm going to let him say it, right? I'm going to let him say it. And we're going to get into these polls. I'm letting it load up. There we go. This is Coach on Zach's show, right? This is Coach on Zach's show. I'll pull this up for y'all. Let's pull this up for y'all. Right here. Yeah, I'm going to put that up for y'all.
Something on the show about how competitive the recruiting in Texas is. And I look at the list, and there's 3 Texas schools in the top 5 FCS transfer portal classes, 4 in the top 10, with Abilene, you guys, Stephen F. Austin, and Tarleton. You, Tarleton, and Stephen F. Austin all in the top 5. Man, what is that? What are those recruiting battles like? And not just in high school, but in the portal, man. And me and you talked a little bit about this at the Legacy Bowl, and we've had Todd on, and he's not shy about it. The money isn't necessarily always equal in these recruiting battles either, man. How do you and your staff stay so competitive when you have so many big dog programs in Texas fighting for these players that are looking to come home from their FBS programs?
Yeah, man. I'll be honest with you, Zach. The money ain't even to their favor. Like, these guys got some cash that, I'm more power to them in what they're doing for their programs, right? and the resources that they have. What we try to focus on is being genuinely who we are and building relationships with you to help get you prepared for life. I'll be quite honest with you. When you come to Prairie View A&M, because of the way I look, we use the fact that there's not a lot of people that can teach you how to look like I look and maneuver in America sitting in the head coach's seat. And so that's a real line that we use with all colors of kids and
that's
everybody that comes through our doors, because it's different. And we can sit here and play the politics, but it's different. And I've lived it for 42 years, right? And so we might not have money, but on the flip side, they don't have the experiences that you're going to get here.
That's the key right there. That's the key. People want to know the formula. People want to know what's going on and why is PV doing what it do. That's it right there. You know what I'm saying? The coach is telling you there's a different identity. There's a different culture. There's a different way we move. That's the way we eat, we drink, we sleep. We go about the pursuit of excellence, right? That's why our slogan is excellence lives here. We're not coming with mediocrity. And I've said this on other shows. A lot of you programs run your academic or athletic programs like C students. Y'all run it average, right? And I think this is why we have caught up and surpassed so many athletic programs that exist that traditionally were so good. And this is not a us problem. Once again, one of my other favorite quotes: please don't allow my confidence to trigger your insecurities. And that's what's happening with PV fans. We're just going to turn up our confidence, not arrogance, but confidence. And as we turn up our confidence, it seems to infuriate and trigger a lot of people's insecurities. And that's just something y'all gonna have to work with. We can help y'all work through these things. I'll put the link in there also for y'all. If y'all need help working through this, you can also be free to call in. Maybe we got to source out some of these issues. Maybe we can get through a lot of these grievances a lot of people seem to have when we start talking about who we are and what we are and the way we go about it, right? Now, I'd be remiss. Mickey Joseph was out there doing his camp and in Baton Rouge, and it was successful based on a few things that we heard out there. I'll play briefly his clip. Let's see if I can find it. There we go. Y'all let me know if y'all can hear it, because sometimes these clips be all over the place. Can I unmute that? There we go. Let me put him up there on the big screen. Okay. Let me add him in here real quick. Mickey Joseph. There we go.
Head football coach, Coach Mickey Joseph. What's going on, man?
Man, I'm good, man. Back in that rack.
Hey, bro, let's talk about this year 2 for you down here in Baton Rouge, man. You satisfied with the turnout or what?
Yes, always. Like Baton Rouge has been good to us. Coach Peters, like I said, Coach Peters recruits Baton Rouge, does a really good job. We think that we get some of the best players out of Baton Rouge to come up to Grambling. We know our scholarship offer holds a lot of weight in Baton Rouge.
You talk about recruiting Baton Rouge. I just interviewed R.J. Fleming, man. How I feel getting him up there to North Louisiana, bro. Because I still can't believe it. I don't know how y'all got him there.
That's a good recruit.
Like I said, we think we get some of the best players out of Baton Rouge to North Louisiana. Well, like I told Fleming, he's 210 right now. He wants to be 220. It don't matter. You're going to have to rush that passer. One thing about the SWAC. Two things about the SWAC. They can rush the passer, and these jokers can run.
Yes.
And that's a good start. And that's a good start. So he's going to do fine when he comes up there. Like I said, we're excited where the football team's at right now. We got a couple more plugs to put in with our young kids coming in. But then other than that, we think we've cleaned the roster up and we got it where we want it.
They cleaned the roster up and they got it where they want it. Let's see. We shall see. I don't know from what I've seen out there how much they've cleaned up the roster. But again, maybe, of course he knows something we don't, rest we don't know. But I'm interested to see what Grambling's going to do next year. Is it just the regular middle of the road status quo? That's probably what you probably will see. Or will they rise to the ranks and somewhere be, above right below Prairie View next season? Well, who's going to be what in the West after Prairie View? you know, a lot of people even been talking about this. It's like a one-man band when it comes to the West. Now, I won't get into a lot of the prognosticators. We got that coming up next. But this right here, this just happened today. I'm sorry, yesterday. They had the media press release, the press conference for the Gulf Coast Challenge. Now, I had one specific issue. Third and fifth place, for sure. Somewhere around there. And now this is Coach Sam Shade at the Gulf Coast Challenge. Let me pull this up. Now, I pulled up the specific segment of the clip that I want to talk about. And this is what's bothering me about where we are in the SWAC right now. Let me pull this up real quick. Now, I already got it earmarked where I want it. This is him being announced to the stage at the Gulf Coast Challenge in Mobile, Alabama. That's going to be Alabama A&M playing Jackson State University. But this is his press conference. And y'all listen to it, and you'll see why I'm bothered.
Right. Good Bulldog afternoon to you. Right. All praise, honor, and glory be to God. I'm honored once again to be here representing the Alabama A&M University Bulldog family. As the said football coach.
It's coming. It's coming. I'm not playing the whole clip.
Mobile Sports Authority, the City Council, the County
We're going to get to it.
For having
We're just going to let it play a little bit.
This great classic. The head coach, T.C. Taylor, I want to commend you and your team and your university on a fine 2025 football season. Some people don't realize you were 2 points away from once again playing in the Celebration Bowl.
Some people don't know you were only 2 points away from playing in the Celebration Bowl. Now, I don't know anybody that capitulates to a team losing like that. Only JSU gets that type of, I don't even want to say respect. Because I don't know if they're like the Debo of the league or what's going on. But that's a hell of an intro. Little do people know you are only 2 points away from going to the Celebration Bowl. Now, PV fans say a lot of things. But one thing you've never heard PV say is, we were only 2 points away from winning the Celebration Bowl. JSU lost in their home stadium to Prairie View. Here's Sam Shade at the beginning of his Alabama A&M press conference for the Mobile game against JSU. And his intro is, little do you know that JSU was 2 points away from going to the Celebration Bowl. Let's hear more of him.
Coach Taylor and his staff do a great job in recruiting and roster management. The last few years, they have been one of, if not the most talented teams in the SWAC. However, his teams are very well coached and fundamentally sound. All of that is evident in our game against them last season. They definitely have a winning formula. Their offense led.
How, Sway? What winning formula? Oh, winning formula against you? Not a winning formula in the SWAC? What winning formula? They're not the SWAC champs. I'm not understanding all of this love and kowtowing to Jackson State. I'm not understanding this, Sam Shade. I mean, his language, his voice, his tonation, his posture. I'm not liking this. I don't understand how you actually breed an environment for success by having an intro like this. And I'm not saying you don't respect or give, love to the opponent. I'm not saying that. But all of this lingering on and on and on about Jackson State, who's supposed to be your opponent, I'm not really understanding this style of intro when it comes to a big game, when it comes to a rivalry.
The league in rushing. Their defense led the league in stopping the run. A lot of teams in our conference.
That he's going on and on about this.
Jackson State for the last few years, including Alabama and Bulldogs.
Oh yeah.
However,
I'm sorry, I was talking over it, right? I'm gonna rewind it. He said, we've been chasing Jackson State in a very lowly way. Let me rewind it a little bit. Don't take my word for it. I'm gonna just let it play.
Their offense led the league in rushing. Their defense led the league in stopping the run. A lot of teams in our conference have been chasing Jackson State for the last few years, including Alabama and Bulldogs.
Not PV. We not chasing.
This past offseason, we've been working really hard for that upcoming season as a team. We've got 6 home games this year.
We're looking for people 40 plus who want to actually master
we gotta
quad
add in there.
28 days.
Sorry, y'all.
No free time needed.
Home games are what you look at as a coaching staff as games that you have to win. You got to find a way to win those. Also, our first ball game against Howard University in Atlanta in the SWAC MEAC Challenge. However, this game means a lot to our coaching staff, our players, our fans, and the Alabama A&M University Bulldogs. It means a lot because it's played right here in our home stadium.
I'm gonna stop it there, and I want to address Mr. Campbell's point right here. No, Mr. Campbell, we see this as a pattern. This isn't an isolated. If this is that Chris Dishman style possum, I'm gonna play possum style of coaching, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. You're not fooling nobody, and it's not inspiring anybody. Your number one goal is to inspire, to invoke fear. We're playing football here. If this is true as a tactic, this is it's still bad formula and it's bad tactic. Coming in there with written notes all about who and what. He didn't even have notes about who his team was, what his team is doing. At a press conference, I don't like it. Now, if this is just a regular media interview, maybe. But at a press conference, I absolutely don't like it. I think it's very passive. That's a good word. I think it's a passive approach to coaching, and the style of coaching that we see today and what's needed. We don't have time to play possum. We gotta come with the heat. We gotta come direct. We gotta speak truth to power, and we gotta meet aggression with aggression. I won't go too deep into that press conference. I only made that point because I was so alarmed by his presentation of so much love and respect for his opponent. And I think it was a little bit of an overkill. And I think this might kind of backfire on him. And to be honest with you, this actually spills out into the attitude of his team, in my opinion, right? And this speaks right to when I look and evaluate Alabama A&M as a team and as a culture, this speaks right to them. Very somewhat passive, not enough fire, not enough aggression. This speaks right to it. So I don't know if this is much as a tactic as it is his true, authentic personality of how it's showing through. And it's kind of like quiet humility. I'm going to play myself less than in order to pull myself up by the bootstraps. This type of thing don't work. This type of thing doesn't work for me. And I think, if we want to see, at least parity amongst the teams and parity amongst the league, coaches got to step their game up. I'm be honest with you. The coaches got it. This was a big, somebody, I can't take credit for it, but somebody said this was a big pillow fight. That's what this was. I never hear anything really just great coming from TC Taylor. I won't even put his clip up. But if you can go look at it in your own time, this was nothing but a big pillow fight. It's not what I want to see from my coaches in the SWAC. This is not what I want to see from, both organizations. Man, I didn't even thank you for reminding me. Thank you for reminding me. I'm glad Scotty is working for Alabama A&M. He would do 3 shows off of that. Maybe this is Scotty work. I didn't even think about that one, Mr. Campbell. Maybe this is Scotty work. Maybe this is his media work in action. Maybe this is his prepping of the coach. Maybe this is the new, dreads cut off. We want dreadhead Scotty, right? Not, Caesar fade Scotty. Where's the dreadhead Scotty at? You know what I'm saying? Well, Jesus Christ had dreads, so shake him, right? Where we got that Scotty at? This is passive. This is passive Scotty. Where is off script? We don't want Scotty. We want off script. And I think this is the problem when we see coaches and how they're not relevant. And this goes back to Coach T-Jack, right? People see me and people they kind of gravitate to me. And this is really, you can't really coach that. This is a personality issue. This is a personality problem. I want to see more parity amongst the SWAC, not these kind of, Debo, oh, here comes JSU. Let me move out the way. They was only 2 points from making it to the SWAC championship. Huh? Sir, what did you do against them last season, and how are you going to correct that? And what do we see coming from Alabama A&M? That's what we want to hear from. We don't want to hear about last year, how they almost did something. We're playing football. We're not playing horseshoes. We're playing football. This isn't hand grenades. Almost don't really count. Almost don't count. Brandy said it best. Almost doesn't count. What have you done for me lately, and what are you going to do? Let's go. Man, y'all killing the chat. Y'all are hell in the chat. Y'all are hell. I'm just saying, I don't like it. Now, this takes me to my point. This takes me to today's show, right? Everybody has a poll, but you know who's your daddy. Y'all know who y'all daddy is. Y'all acting like y'all daddy wasn't here every day. Y'all acting like y'all daddy didn't pay the bills. He wasn't showing up. We already know. Let me pull this down. We already know. Black fathers are the most active fathers out of any demographic of males, out of all the ethnicities. Y'all know who y'all daddy is. It's PV. We're the most active father. That's what the statistics say. I'm not saying that. That's what the statistics say. We're the most active fathers out of any demographic when it comes to men. So why does that not apply to the SWAC? Especially coming from your 2025 champs. We just had Father's Day. Y'all know who y'all daddy is. Now we got all these polls and all these people out here talking. And for some reason, they don't want to acknowledge their daddy. What's wrong? Because PV is your daddy. I don't understand that. I don't understand why people don't want to deal with that. But let's go to the coaches poll. Let's start with some of these coaches polls. All right. Because everybody's in on this, right? Let's go to one of these coaches poll. Now, HBCU Sports, they did a coaches poll out there. Let's pull theirs up. Stop sharing. Oh, man. Computer is tripping. Let me slow down. Let me pull them up real quick. Boom. Boom. All right. All right. I'm going to add it in there. Y'all bear with me. All right. Here we go. HBCU, who are the top 10 best Division FCS SWAC coaches? Let's pull that up. Of course, it's an ad right when I pull it up. Who are the 10 best Division I HBCU head coaches? Here's the list, right? Number 1, Chennis Berry. has quickly built a reputation as one of the most disciplined and consistent leaders in HBCU football with South Carolina State 12-0 in MEAC play. Now, the MEAC play ain't really that tough, right? Not really that tough. But I can see why they say Chennis Berry, because they are your HBCU national champs, right? Number 2, TC Taylor has kept Jackson State in the championship conversation by maintaining the program's standard of toughness, talent, pressure-packed expectation. Jackson State under Taylor has won the SWAC East Championship and Celebration Bowl, and the Tigers will be the favorites to run it back in the division again and be a contender for another Celebration Bowl. I'm not necessarily opposed to the write-up, but number 2, come on, man. Come on, man. In order to be the best, you got to beat the best. And as it stands right now, TC Taylor has not beaten Coach Jermaine Jackson. The Panthers have went into Jackson and beat Jackson State in their own stadium for the SWAC championship. I don't understand. Oh, y'all giving him credit for prior to Jermaine Jackson, but that is the wall that's standing in his way, who they have as number 3. Made an immediate impact at Prairie View A&M, where his energy and turned around ability helped the Panthers maneuver to the cusp of HBCU national championship. The program's outlook is that it will compete for big prizes. Now, they got 4 with Trey Oliver, 5 Eddie Robertson Jr., 6 Deshaun Jackson. Okay. Quinn Gray. Now, this is when they get really crazy. Chris Dishman, number 8. Now, that's wild. And then Mickey Joseph at number 9. That's also wild. And then Raymond Woody. That's I would put him above Mickey Joseph and Chris Dishman, if you ask me. I don't understand that list. In some aspects, I understand, them going to the tried and true lazy journalism, which is, okay, we're going to give Chennis Berry number 1. But to make TC Taylor number 2 is laughable to me. And that's not just because I don't rock with J-State. It just doesn't make sense based on all of the metrics. If you put serious metrics together and run them across the board, it's no way TC Taylor is better than Coach T-Jack. Just be honest with you. And I don't think anybody will even parse their lips and say, I believe that TC Taylor is a better coach than Tremaine Jackson, Coach Jackson. Somebody who really believes that, call in. I want to hear a compelling argument on how T-Jack is not a better coach than TC Taylor. I want to hear that. I want to hear these notes, because there's no way that he is better than Coach T-Jack. Historically, right? I know y'all going to say, oh, well, it was D2. And D2 don't count, right? So let's just count apples to apples. Last year, what metric last year was TC Taylor better than Coach Tremaine Jackson? What metric? Even coaching staff. PV's entire coaching staff is better than Jackson State's coaching staff. And just keep it a buck with you. The entire coaching staff, from Coach T-Jack all the way through every position, is way leaps and bounds beyond them. Not even just slightly better. You really want to talk about talent last year in that SWAC championship. The talent was on the sideline. The way we prepared for that game and we went about our business, I think a lot of people really don't evaluate that and don't take that under consideration. No. It's what's done on the field. Absolutely what's done on the field. Let's get into some more of these. Let's get some more into these polls, right? And this one's gonna hit a little bit more closer to home for some of you in the chat. This one's gonna get hit a little bit more closer to home. This one right here. Now, even Rocky got in on this, right? Even he got in on the act. Same thing, but even worse. He he has TC Taylor at number 1, top 5 HBCU football coaches. He has TC Taylor as the number 1 coach in HBCU football. That's wild. That's wild and nasty work, especially for a coach that didn't win the SWAC championship and obviously didn't make it to the Celebration Bowl. Help me with this. If you're out there, Rocky Miller, you got some explaining to do. Not only does he have TC Taylor at number 1, he has Chennis Berry at number 2. Then he has Coach T-Jack. I'm going to already say it. Coach T-Jack is the number 1 coach in HBCU football. Number 1 coach in HBCU football. How nobody has him at number 1 is insane to me. On all levels. How he's transformed the game on the field and off the field. Nobody is coming close to that. Nobody's coming. And if they all that, why they not on y'all shows? Why they not on y'all podcasts? I mean, everybody wants to talk to Coach Tremaine Jackson. Everybody on every one of these platforms. But somehow he not the number 1 coach on and off the field, on social media, in media, on the field, off the field. When it comes to recruiting, when it comes to X's and O's, when it comes to embodying, what are y'all talking about? This is what I call typical SWAC lazy journalism. That's all this is. This is just lazy journalism because people want to go with the status quo. People want to go with the status quo. They just got the same notes that they're going to recycle from last year. They haven't even learned from last season. They came with the same old talking points and the same old graphics from last season, and they bringing it into this season. And then once again, PV is going to have to show y'all once again who's the boss. We're going to have to show y'all who's your daddy. Can we play the slogan?
We're never going to shy away from being confrontational.
That's right.
About what great college football looks like.
We not going to shy away from that. Now, y'all can do whatever y'all want to do with y'all polls, but y'all going to have to claim y'all daddy at some point. Y'all going to have to claim y'all daddy, and y'all daddy is PV. It's okay. It's okay. Y'all don't want to claim y'all daddy, even though he's paid child support, even though he's put you through school, even though he showed up, because Black fathers are the number 1 most involved father out of any demographic of fathers across all the ethnicities. That's what the stats say. That's not what Sed say. That's what the stats say. So claim your daddy. Claim PV. But y'all don't want to claim us. That's all right. Because we going to raise our hand, and despite the system not wanting to acknowledge us, we're going to say, that baby is mine. That baby is mine. The SWAC is mine. And we're claiming ourselves. Right? Who else is out there talking wild and reckless? Wild and reckless. Right? Wild and reckless. This is another one. This is another one. She loves PV. Now, this probably one of the most egregious. I haven't done, a brass monkey of the day in a while, but this was almost going to dust off brass monkey of the day right here. Right here. She loves PV. Now, we're on to the teams now, right? They have Jackson State at number 1 coming into the season. Both of them, her and Mr. Ford, right? Then she has Alabama State, and he has Alabama State at number 2 coming into the SWAC. How disrespectful. This is laughable to me. They're still thinking the East is where it's at. The East is not where it's at. Your SWAC champs over in the West is where it's at. Now, she has number 3 at South Carolina State. We'll get back to Mr. Ford later, right? Delaware State at number 4, and then PV at number 5. Like, this just here tells me either two things. One, I don't know nothing about SWAC football. Or two, I'm just extremely biased. And I probably think it's a little bit of both. It's a hybrid baby. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, and I'm super biased. When y'all do these polls, y'all should just say, this is who I'm rooting for. If you say this is who I'm rooting for versus saying this is the poll, because when you say it's a poll, people are assuming you put some statistical analysis into this. You put some thought into it. There's some objectivity to your actual research. Even when they did the video clip, I ain't even clipped the video. Even when they did the clip, I missed the forward. Do you think I did this because I'm biased? Yes. No, I'm not biased. Yes. Yes. This makes no sense whatsoever. This is your SWAC. So are you telling me the MEAC is that much better than the SWAC? Obviously, you don't think that. Now, cool. Y'all want to think Jackson State is going to be number 1 next year in the season. I'm going to say, just like they say on the Breakfast Club, Houseway. Well, that wasn't Breakfast Club, but y'all know who I'm talking about. Houseway. How? And I say this, right? I say this. What statistical category is Jackson State coming in better than Prairie View? Even if I give you quarterback. Even if I give you quarterback. I just ran down coaching staff. Let's throw recruits in there, right? Jackson State, nor Alabama State, nor South Carolina State, nor Delaware State has out-recruited Prairie View. So when you talk about incoming talent, Prairie View is ranked highly amongst FCS, let alone SWAC. We're the number 1 recruiting team in the SWAC. And we're not ranked as a number 1 as a team. Now, listen, this is just me breaking it down. I'm not worried about all of these people because opinions, these are all just opinion polls. I'm not even worked up over this. This is me breaking this down for the fans because it's been all over the Facebook pages and all the social media pages. So we just going to get the business right. We're going to clear the business up because people do this, weird things that they do in the off season. And I don't know if they just do this as poster board material to hype their teams up, but we're going to get the business clear, right? Now back to my point, right? They haven't even out-recruited Prairie View. Now, I heard people saying, well, y'all bringing in a bunch of new players and y'all don't have returning players. Y'all don't even have returning players. Now, we showed you last year how overhauling a team and bringing quality talent in is the formula for success. These are old, antiquated mind frames and talking points. And PV, that's not even unique to PV. You can look at your own history and see that. Dion came in, overhauled the team, had one of the highest ranked quality programs when you talk about the athletic ability of his recruits. Not 1 year, 2 years, right? And he won a SWAC. Now, when he overhauls the team and brings in a bunch of talent, then, we running the tables, right? Same thing. Willie Simmons comes in, overhauls the team, brings in quality talent, has one of the top ranked classes of recruits come in after overhauling the team. And what does Willie Simmons do? Run the tables. Now PV does it. Now people think, the formula isn't working. We can't even take credit for it, right? We're running the play. And so that's why a lot of y'all teams that haven't overhauled your program and still coming in with lackluster talent and not having quality talent come in is why your team's not going to be good next year. Just why it's on top of lack of coaching, lack of inspiration, lack of quality games, lack of some other aspects in there too. But what's going to be key is lack of talent. So how you don't have PV in a high evaluation just based on the talent that we have in, based on winning the SWAC championship and coming in with so much momentum based on quality coaching, based on staff, based on funding, based on competition. How? I want to hear compelling evidence how people are making these points. Now we're gonna get off this, but Mr. Four has us at number 3. That's still weak. He's on there talking about this the big 3: Jackson State, Alabama State, and Prairie View. I'm gonna say this too. Andrew Body is one of the most overrated quarterbacks in the SWAC. I mean, the amount of rubber stamping that everybody does for him year in and year out is insane and wild to me. Now, Campbell, wants to talk about, formerly known as Allscript, Scotty, is one of the reasons why we have this overinflation and the over-evaluation of Alabama State to this day. How sway what he did? What has he done? Andrew Body hasn't even beat Prairie View ever in any uniform. Andrew Body hasn't beat Prairie View in an Alabama State uniform. He hasn't beat us in a Texas Southern uniform. We've seen Andrew Body. Just because he's beating up on the rest of you sorry teams around the SWAC now makes him the next coming? What are we talking about? Exactly, glass body. I'm not far stretched in saying that. What has he done? You know what I'm saying? It's Janet Jackson. I can't play the songs. What have you done for me lately? Dun 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 dun. Ooh yeah. Hey man, he ain't that ain't hitting on nothing. And when the wheels fall off on that next season, I want you to come back. Let me remove this because I want y'all to clip that. Let me clip it up for y'all good. When the wheels fall off next season on that, y'all gonna point to this moment and be like, Sed was right. Sed was right. It's just gonna be a bunch of puff. And here, look, I'm gonna say this, right? I think Jackson State's quarterback is better than Andrew Body, and I don't even like Jackson State. Size, ability, working off in the offseason, I think he probably gonna be pretty decent. He'll be decent. He'll be better than Andrew Body next season, statistically, when it's all said and done. Be honest with you. Now that's my opinion. Right? Everybody want to get their opinion. I'm gonna give my opinion. That's my opinion. That's where we at. Now, we seen in JSU news also, they got Kendrick Perkins over there. Shout out to them. Yeah, everybody's got an opinion. Everybody has one, right? Now, like I was saying, you got Kendrick Perkins over there and JSU news. Shout out to them, right? Shout out to them. I'm not a hater. I'm not a hater enough to say that's a decent move. What will it do and what fruits would it show? It remains to be seen. I don't know if it's gonna move the needle anything great, but I'll put it up there. I don't know how much. NBA names a connector for HBCU basketballs could be a game changer. I like how they put that up there. Could be a game changer. Champion and current ESPN analysis has joined Jackson State's men's basketball as general manager. The role is a volunteer position. It's a volunteer position, y'all. Simmer down. But it does not make the move less important. I think so. In fact, the volunteer nature of the role may say even more about where HBCU athletics could be headed. Perkins is not taking over as head coach. Yes, he's not. He is not asked to sit on the bench, draw up late game sets, or recruit the old-fashioned way. This is about optics. This is about NIL. We know what this is about. This, in my opinion, this is classic JSU clout chasing. This clout chasing right here. You're not going to be able to clout your way into wins. That's what this is. I'm not impressed. I mean, you know, Perk will be cool. Might help y'all with some NIL stuff. But I don't really see much moving the needle with this until we see some recruits and we see some money shaking. And when you asking people to volunteer, it's only so much you're going to get out of them. I'm be honest with you. In knowing business, if you don't have nobody writing no checks and you ain't writing a check and you just asking somebody to volunteer, hey, we just want to use your name for leverage and, hey, you know, volunteer and do whatever you want. You're going to get the same results back, right? For volunteer work, you're going to get volunteer results. So I wouldn't get too hyped about this. I know they're trying to milk this like, you know, it's about to be something like a golden goose. But I don't really know. You know, I think this is much like John Wall over at Howard. That's what this is like. I think they saw that John Wall, he's doing the same thing over at Howard University, but that's a different play, right? He played for Washington Bullets. He's very active in DC. He's very active in community engagement. You know, I can see that play working, but just Perkins, what's the connection to JSU? What's the emotional attachment to wanting to volunteer and do this? We still don't even have a clip of him, you know, even wearing anything JSU or even speaking about this outside of ESPN and news outlets covering it. We don't even have him even saying anything about this. Now, I could be wrong. You know, I did a soft scrub. But if anybody got any video with Perkins wearing JSU gear, talking about him now volunteering at JSU, we know they didn't have a press conference or anything of that nature, right? This is giving a little bit of Falk in the first month or so at SU. Can't find him in the SU gear. Can't catch him saying nothing about SU. Now he's on the job, but, you know, it's like a side piece. Falk treats Southern like his side piece. He with her right now because his girl is out of town. But we gonna really see what he's about. That Perkins, this JSU, this is a side chick. This is not the main chick. So the side chick got to know her place. Simmer down, right? He took you out on a date and he agreed to be public with you, but you know your position. Know your position. This ain't nothing to get all hyped out about. I'm be honest with you. Now, your 2025 SWAC champions made some moves. Now we making basketball moves. So we got some talent over there. And I'm gonna pull some of them up for you. I'm pull some of them up for you. Why you saying OMG? Why y'all saying OMG? What's going on? Let me show some of this for y'all. We got some JUCO talent coming in, y'all. Now that's what we doing over here. I don't know what everybody else is doing, but we loading up. Micah Bill, former D1 transfer, 12 points per game, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 50% field goals, and 39% at the 3. 6'4" guard, 2 years of eligibility. So this ain't a one and done. Let's check him out. Like, come on. This gonna be another nasty season for PV. I ain't gonna even kid you. This is just recent talent. If you've been watching the show, I've been showing a lot of videos on our recruits. Now, this is standard for our recruits. Being able to move with the ball, being able to move without the ball, and being able to shoot. You got to be like a three-way player. And if you notice this from these videos, he's shooting a three, he's slashing, he's dunking, and he's facilitating the ball. This is going to be a tough. I'm not going to play y'all all the stuff. Let me chill. Let me chill. I'm just giving y'all a little sneak taste. That's PV's new recruit. We got some more. We got some more for y'all. Let me play the next recruit we got. Davis Bynum. I'll pronounce his name wrong. My apology, brother. Davis Bynum. Well, listen, what do you mean it's damn near impossible? What are we talking about? See, that's that loser talk. It's always somebody black that's going to say it's something we can't do. Over here at PV, we don't talk about what we can't do and what's hard to do. We do the thing that's hard to be done. That's that loser mindset. It's all about excellence over here. That's hard for a lot of people to grasp. Pardon me if we're always striving for excellence, right? Davis Bynum. I think I had a video on him too. I didn't play the audio on the last one because it was some trap music on the last one. But let's check out Davis Bynum. He's also a D1 transfer.
The rebound, nice crossover, and the finish. Don't zone.
Now this is a big man. Look at his feet. You notice the trend? Yeah, get that off the glass. Notice the trend. Can shoot threes.
Robinson
can move without the ball. Can facilitate. Can post up.
Ryder trying to hang in there on every possession.
Come on, man. Pull up. Can pull up.
In the game.
And like, come on, man. Come on. Y'all better stop. Yo, come on. Who's donating $200,000? Who's donating $200,000? I'm not gonna even play the rest of the clips, man. We got two more recruits. We got a lot of major things happening at PV. Yeah, I know, right? Right, Mike? That's what I said. We talking about a D1 transfer. These recruits gonna be sick. I'm gonna play y'all a couple more. I'm gonna play y'all a couple more. Cause a lot of the times the fans aren't even keeping up. This not even for the haters. This is for the fans. I'm gonna play this for the fans. We also got Micah Bell. We got Micah Bell also. Let me put him on the screen. Right. We also got Micah Bell. Let me remove that. Let me show you what he got. Same thing, same video. Same video. Now Micah is a JUCO transfer. But don't let that fool you, because he had all conference honors in the 2025-26 season.
That's just down with the chances. Bell goes
I promise you, I'm not playing the same players. These are three different players. I know they look alike.
Down the court goes Bell, lays it up alone. Right side, Bell,
from the three.
Leave it off in the corner. That's Sendelinel. Top of the circle for Bell. Bell pulls that floater up and just load a car. He couldn't catch it. Run it up, dunk it in. Get it over to Bell. Bell thought about pulling the trigger, didn't do it. He'll dribble back outside.
From the three. Now that's classic Coach Byron.
Bell's trying
player
to split
right there.
Drives through, floats up in the air, lays it up in the air. Tipkin, swing it out.
Behind the back and dunk. Come on, yo. Come on, yo. I know y'all want to get excited for football, but basketball is going to be sick. Basketball is gonna be sick. That for sure, back to back. For sure, back to back. They want to tell you what we can't do. Well, you know, it's hard to win back to back. Yo, this gonna be nasty work. And you know, them going and changing up the rules is actually gonna help us out. Because a good season next season, as I just showed y'all, the first two number 1 and 2 seed gets buys to the semifinals. They're gonna get buys. Come on, don't be a hater all your life. Don't be a hater all your life. Because you know what's happening is, right, this was happening. The old adage, right? When you cut the grass, what come out when you cut the grass? The snakes. The snakes come out. The snakes come out when you cut the grass, right? Now it used to be the F's come out. Hut, 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 hut. The snakes come out. The snakes come out. Now that's for y'all time. But it wasn't a snake, it was an F. Man, y'all done messed up and let PV take over. Y'all done messed up and let PV take over, and it's just wild and nasty work. You know, seeing people work in their emotions. You know, we talking about excellence, we talking about winning, we talking about success. Y'all talking about emotions. Y'all talking about blue blood. Y'all like my uncle at the family gathering that's talking about the good old days under the garage carport. Still talking about his glory days, you know, when he was in high school. Now he's 60 some years old, but he's still talking about when he was the star quarterback in high school. Right? A living proof of Al Bundy. That's who he is. He Al Bundy. A lot of y'all SWAC teams out there, y'all are Al Bundy. Still living off the past. Now I got one more. Derek Rivers. I know I have a video on him. Let me find a bit. Oh, there we go. No, that's not it. Let me find a video on him. But that's the last one. Now he's 6 foot tall. He not a big dude, but another well decorated, the number 1 JUCO guard last year. Let me pull him up. Let me pull him up for y'all. Is that him right there? Yep. Let me pull that up. Let me pull him up for you. There we go. I'll pull him up. And this will be my last one because I ain't gonna show y'all too much. Just showing y'all a little taste here, right here. Is Derek Rivers. And then we just got him this week as well. 6 foot point guard. Again, shifty.
Middle of the court.
Can pin up. Nasty work.
Drives. Great
nasty
dish.
work.
Across half court. 5 team fouls against Dodge City. 3 against the Texans. Rivers fakes them out. 49-42.
Oh.
Spin move.
Nasty.
Rivers shoots it up.
Pull up. Same thing. Footwork. Pull up. Nasty work. Nasty work. This gonna be a crazy season next season.
Bounce hop through the lane.
Yeah, that jump step was ill. And from the 3, he can shoot. So just when you play off of him, cool. He gonna pull a 3. Bounce.
63-55.
You pull off of
Rivers
him, he's
pulls
gonna
up,
shoot
shoots
3.
from top.
Now that's Coach Byron right
Comes
there.
right
That's
side.
classic Coach
Drives
Byron.
in the lane, pulls up 12-footer, shoots it up, gets the shooter's roll. For Dodge City, brings it out.
Y'all seen enough. I'm just giving y'all a little bit. I'm gonna give y'all a little bit. We in front of recent history. Recent history tells me that Prairie View is your SWAC 25 champions in basketball and football. That's what recent history tells me. But look, I wanted to give y'all a little bit of clips. I had the football clips from the past camp, but we went so far into the polls that I didn't even want to. I'm not going to even pull them up. We're going to say that for next week's show, because I could go on and on about the advancements that are happening at Prairie View. I'm gonna give y'all one. I'm gonna put it in the chat before we break out, but I'm gonna put it in there for y'all. There you go. Anybody wants to chime in on what they heard, give their opinion, because I posed a lot of questions out there. I posed the question, somebody give me a real good breakdown of why Coach T-Jack isn't the number one coach. Somebody also give me a good breakdown on how Prairie View is not the number one HBCU program. I need that breakdown. And let alone how Alabama State and how Jackson State are highly ranked over Prairie View. If they aren't your number one school at HBCU, I need answers. I might not get them today, but I love to have the answers. I love to have some form of answers, right? Now, speaking of excellence at Prairie View, while that's simmering, I wanna acknowledge a former Prairie View football player in Stubblefield doing his thing. Hold on, let me find his clip. Sorry, I don't have these in horizontal format. So we can actually see them a lot bigger and bolder. But y'all will get the gist. Here we go. This is Stubblefield. Forced fumble.
That was excellent by Reggie Stubblefield, the nickel linebacker, coming in with a hard hit, and that ball came out.
Shout out to Reggie Stubblefield.
They discussed this one.
The Hamilton Tiger Cats signed Reggie Stubblefield in free agency before the 2025 season.
Show it again.
And, it's one that
boom. Ooh. Nasty work.
Because he had missed essentially the entire 2024 year because of injury, hurt right at the start of the year. But this is for Davis Alexander.
Shout out to Reggie Stubblefield. Shout out to PV. Like we're going to see more of this, and I think most of you are gonna have to get used to that. But because this is going to translate into other forms as well, right? Now, I didn't mention this earlier, right? Even at South Carolina State, I think it's funny and it's very interesting that they have them so highly ranked. But who's their new offensive coordinator over there at South Carolina State? Yours truly, KJ Black. Prairie View's very own new offensive coordinator over there at South Carolina State. So, they'll secretly give PV credit when it's not in a PV uniform. It's all that in a bag of chips when it's not in a PV uniform. But the minute it becomes a PV uniform or a PV fan or a PV position, then all conventional wisdom goes out the window. All statistics go out the window. And that's what's so funny to me when we give these evaluations on Prairie View. Right now before we leave, I want to give some other acknowledgments, just because I always like to have a positive note, because these shows get a little heavy sometimes because of so much of the negativity talking points that come when people address PV. But shout out to this brother here. Shout out to Dwayne Edwards, right? He designed the shoes at Jordan and the Carmelo Anthony. He now has a sneaker design school in Detroit. Took an old HBCU in Detroit and formulated it into a design school for young students in the neighborhood. I saw this and I thought it was very compelling. Yeah, I thought this was really compelling. Nearly 40 years later, this brother went to Pensole Lewis College in Detroit. It was closed down, opened it up, and now has a program where he helps students learn how to design sneakers. And he has a few alumni that are actively at Nike today and at Reebok today designing sneakers. And y'all can read the story on your own, but I thought this was something that needed to be acknowledged and talked about more. This is Black men giving back. You know, we're not, as we today, not only just acknowledging us as great fathers, not only just acknowledging us as swag daddy, but we have Black men out here doing excellence in the community, excelling and doing well. This brother could have went off and did great things and been in retirement, but for him to go back and purchase a dilapidated and closed HBCU and now open it for opportunities to educate. This is a new iteration of what HBCUs were in its era. This is what we're seeing in a 2026 model. I think more of this needs to be duplicated by people that are successful and people that have knowledge and want to pass it on. So shout out to this brother Dwayne Edwards. Let me see what up. And I have one more newsworthy story I want to share as well. Nah, this is not newsworthy. This is just hilarious in and of itself. How many of y'all let me find that. Let me find this one. Can I pause it? I can't even pause it. Okay, there we go. All right, here we go. How many of y'all remember hold up. Shout out to the Qs. Shout out to the Qs. Now, I made fun of Jackson State. I made fun of Jackson State football players creating a fraternity out of the football team. You know, amongst a lot of things that I've been seeing come out of their camp has been very laughable. But, you know, to take that aside and now just talk about, you know, Greek culture, because that's a part of HBCU culture. I just wanted to highlight this as well. This was pretty funny and pretty entertaining because we all know we had that one HBCU experience where we went to our first Greek party and didn't know what the hell was going on when you seen brothers stepping around the party. So I thought this was a good clip to encapsulate that.
Man, anybody in the way get ran over. Now watch out.
Now, the reason why this is so funny to me, coming from Chicago and coming to PV for the first time and going to, you know, this was old gym when I was at PV. It was the old gym. When I was at PV, it was the old gym. And that was the highlight of the campus experience. Going to, you know, it wasn't actually the old gym. It was actually alumni. They closed down alumni where we actually eat and threw a party in alumni. It was a freshman party in alumni. The Greeks came in and stepped in. And I was like, what is going on? What is going on? Why are people shoving people out the way? I'm just trying to party. I'm trying to find somebody to dance with. Then I realized it's a whole nother culture going on. It's a whole nother system and rule. And if you know anything about PV, that even in alumni, which is where we eat or dine, you can't even sit at certain places in alumni hall because they had all the Greek shields all across the actual alumni facility. So if you weren't Greek, you couldn't sit in front of the shield of where that specific fraternity or sorority was. Now, so that was another rule. So somebody tell you got to get up. It was almost like prison. You got to get up from where you were sitting, which is wild. But, you know, just making light heart of a lot of the comments that was made, you know, during this show. I know a lot of people take them, you know, very seriously. I know a lot of people come on here and troll, as the kids say, and a lot of people, you know, love to joke. So I definitely don't take these comments seriously. But I do think it's important that PV reshapes our narrative. I think that's important. We've always, you know, maintained excellence. We've always maintained being productive. So I always encourage us to stay strong. I always encourage us to stay true. But most of all, stay productive. Thank y'all. Peace, and I'm out.
Do you remember when we first met? Well, I don't, but I remember how wet you get. But I won't disrespect you by dwelling on the physical aspect. Don't roll your eyes, cause we better than that shit. I'm talking about long life, being your boy's wife. A couple youngins running in the backyard. And my lord, you're still looking great, honey. And my God, you still can shake what make money. It's so vivid, can you picture it? Yeah, well tell me, do you think this ring fits? Word, your love is like the ultimate herb. You got me foot to the ass and the rest to the curb. It's like nothing to do, only for you I kneel and forget the brick. Love is the house we're building, the picket fence with the swing on the tree, with the words carved in it saying love is we.
There you are, close enough to touch but still too far, because you're not mine yet. Stimulated by the conversation, mere presence. Other women ask what relation, none of the essence. Oh, who's that? She's a C, but you come first, like the A before the B. When you're gone, I wilt like a willow, lie there and smell the scent you left on my pillow. A strong mind with the body to match. I won't bite if you promise not to scratch. You keep it real, just like the truth. Closer than twins, standing in the phone booth. Inspirational, treasured like a gift. What's success without someone to share it with? I used to be a dog, now a cool cat chasing cheese. And I blame Eloise. Eloise on my mind. Eloise on my mind. Eloise. Eloise on my mind. Eloise on my mind. Eloise. Eloise on my mind. Eloise on my mind. Eloise on my mind. Eloise. Eloise on my mind. Eloise.
People everywhere wants to know her name. Her body is the essence and her claim to fame. She's got game, it ain't the same. She's got plenty, packing more good times that you might call a penny. Getting caught up with the thoughts of flying overseas, making all of the cheese, spending time with Eloise. I picture hitting from the back like the snare from the track. I got the knack to be the Mac, the lips I wanna smack. Candle wax down the spine, all of the time. Prophylactic on my tool, let me take you to school. Lesson 1, you don't have to run. And lesson 2, listen to my crew. Passion increases with exchange of saliva. Keep it Fahrenheit and call me Muffdava. That be me, the K to the ING. My mode is excellent and my dream is Eloise.
A soft whisper. She asked me, do I have the guts to kiss her? But as I sit and wonder, is she real? I picture. So what comes after? Put on Anita's rapture. Her feelings I must capture. Her soft lips, I take them quick.